Might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
Good time zones, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very wet IMOLA as we get ready for round number 10 of the Apex This MX5 series. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the rain here with 75% chance at the moment. The air temperature is 19 degrees Celsius here, with the humidity at just about 83%. We do got a strong wind at 16 miles an hour. And like I said, guys, this track is going to be absolutely wet around this 3.02 miles, 17 turn circuit that is known as Autodromo Enzo Igino Ferrari. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, but I do my best. But either way, we are in Imola, Italy, here for round number 10. That means we have just 6 more races remaining total this season, and 3 more weeks of awesome, fast-paced racing. And let's go ahead and talk about those races, as we are here, like I said, here in Imola. And next week, we will head over to Monza, and we're going to take on that track. Before we head over to Spa Francorchamps, let me tell you what, we are excited to finish off this season strong in the final 3 races of this season. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we got 4 laps of qualifying, just about 10 minutes time. And then we will have 2 20-minute races here today. And your top 4 will always be inverted for race number 2. They do got 1 fast repair, unlimited tire sets, but they do have a 12 incident limit. And this is an open set with 100% fuel. Last week, we saw some really great tight racing over at St. Petersburg. But that really shook up with everything that happened over there. So let's go and take a look here at your point standings. Currently in your mid-pack Larry standing, Sean Teeter, he is currently out front by 38 points over Joshua Smith, followed by Jonathan Cooper in that number 3 machine. And Michael Tanagretta is in that 4th position, followed by Aaron Law in that 5th spot. And let's go ahead and round out your top 10 here. Christopher Croto in 6th. Harrison Mealy in that number 7 machine, or in that 7th spot. Keegan Geirig, he'll be in 8th. Keaton Bandy 9th. And Corey Mitchell, he will round out your mid-pack Larry top 10. Let's go ahead and take a look here at your pro division, where Charles Wolf will take over the points lead. And you go 15 points back to Michael Brock, Tony Wallace 3rd, Ryan Ryder 4th, and Spencer Beaudoin in that 5th spot. Brian Lemke 6th, 7th will go to Thomas Lathrop. Joseph Mayer, it will be 8th. Joshua Soto will be 9th, and Sean Kapensky in that 10th position. We have just a few more, or just a couple more minutes here before we're going to go green flag racing here. And let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, when I say that this track is absolutely wet, it is absolutely wet. And I think I just froze with iRacing. Oh, wait. What are we doing? Hang on. Well, there we go. That was weird. Never have I ever had that happen before, ladies and gentlemen. I deeply apologize about that. Not exactly sure what that was about. I was kind of wondering why the scenery hasn't changed at all. Well, that explains why. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you know, let's go on board with this is Cameron Frederick in the 302 machine. Well, we were on board with him. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to roll up and get ready for our very first heat race. I'm sorry, not heat race, but your very first spots on the grid. As this is going to be a very short formation, so let's go ahead and quickly go over your starting grid. Starting first, it's going to be Brian Lemke in the number 41, joined by that 421 machine of Michael Brock. Row number 2, you've got Oz Escalou in the 911 machine. He'll be joined by the 84, Thomas Lathrop. Number 87 of Keaton Bandy will start in that 5th position. To his outside in the 6th position is going to be Spencer Beaudoin in that 010 machine. 7th will go to Christopher Croto in the 305. To his outside, you got Joseph Meyer in the 000 machine. Inside row number 5, you got the 181 machine of Ryan Ryder. To his outside, the 302 of Cameron Frederick. Inside row number 6, you've got the 119 of Gregorio Moreno. He'll be joined by Nick Belasco in the number 11 machine. Inside row number 7, you got Michael Tanagretta in that 200 machine. He'll be joined by Mario Man himself, Sean Kapinski, in the 823. Inside row number 8, you got Mr. Dr. Pepper himself in the 78 machine. Tony Wallace. He'll be joined by John Cooper in the in the double 7 machine. Starting 17th, Connor Menard and Keegan Geirig. 19th, it's going to be Matt Bond. 20th, Charles Wolf. 21st, we'll go to Roman Bykov. Jack Stodola in 22nd. 23rd, we'll go to Rick Wishon and the 120 of Mark Miller. The 25 of Aaron Law with Brad Parker. Craig Thompson, Corey Mitchell. And that's going to round out your field here for the first race of today on a very wet, damp racetrack here in IMOLA, as these drivers are going to get ready to go green flag racing for the first time. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm absolutely excited to see how these drivers are going to handle this wet surface of IMOLA as we get ready to go green flag racing. Your drivers still side by side here, getting ready to come into the final corners of this racetrack. And let me tell you what, this is an absolute blast of a track to run. It's a fast, technical course. Pace car is getting ready to come off as the drivers come out of turn 17. And we are getting ready to go green flag racing here for the first time today here in IMOLA into the start zone. And we're going to get ready to see the green flag fly. Ladies and gentlemen, week number 10 is not green. Now they're green. There they go. That was a long creep down the front straightaway. But here they come. Brian Lemke, Michael Brock will lead the field into turn number 1. Everybody's got to make it nice and easy here. This track is still wet, as you guys can see those puddles right there on the track. As we have a couple drivers get a tad loose, they're heading through the first section of the track. But so far, everybody's keeping it straight and on track at the moment. And right now, Brian Lemke in that 41 machine will lead the field here into the first chicane-ish, I would say. But here comes Oz Exulu. He's trying to make a run here now on Michael Brock for that second position. And he's doing it the hard way by going around the outside of Michael Brock. And just like that, my bad. There you guys go. Now you guys can see what I'm seeing. Alrighty, and once again, the timer is not up at the top, and I'm not sure how to get it fixed. But Aaron Law in that 640 or 468 machine, he had some issues, and he once again is going to have more issues. Let's go ahead and take a look here and see what happened. As you see him going really slow here, as he's struggling to keep that machine. I'm wondering if he forgot to put wet tires on that Mazda, because as of right now he's having issues trying to get going here today, and he is still very, very far off pace. So I'm anticipating to see that driver come down pit road here any moment and get some fresh tire or some wet tires on that race car. But as we come back up here come Oz. He's looking to take home the race win here in race number 1 here at IMOLA. But right now, Michael Brock, he's fighting back to the outside. I'm sorry, to the left side of his machine. I'm still stuck in my oval days. But here they come to complete lap number 1. Lemke with the fastest lap so far, as they complete the very first lap here today. Michael Brock will take back that second position away from Oz as they dive down here into turns 1 and 2. And now these drivers are going to go ahead and continue to stay single file throughout the field. Looking through the field as of right now, only one driver has really been making progress, and that's going to be Joseph Meyer in that 000 machine. And your first mid-pack Larry driver of Keaton Bandy, he is up there in that 6th position. Remember, he is your first mid-pack Larry, and he doesn't have any mid-pack Larrys around him until you get to that 9th place of Proto in that 305 machine. So he's doing a pretty decent job right now, Keaton Bandy, in at that number 87 machine. Aaron Law still having issues here at IMOLA, not able to make anything of it just yet, as he is still trying to get back around this racetrack. As you see a lot of battles starting to heat up here around this track, and hopefully here in this first 20 minutes there will be a groove of dryness around this raceway, so that they can go ahead and get it, you know, all dried up a little bit the best they can, and possibly go with slick tires on these race cars. But as of right now, they're on those wet tires. They're trying to, oh no, Michael Brock got loose. I'm sorry, Brian Lemke got loose out of that corner, and that allowed Michael Brock to go by and take over the race lead. And here comes Oz Escalou. I'm sorry, Escalou. Yeah, I'm sorry, Oz. He's going to try to move himself up into that 2nd spot, but Lemke was able to defend it, and that's going to keep Oz back in that 3rd position. A little bit further back here through the field, we still got some decent battles going on. So Keaton Bandy, he is currently 1st in his class, but Nick Velasco and that number 11 machine, oh my gosh, heavy front end damage for that 777 or 111 machine, or that 111 machine. Let's go ahead and come back here, take a look and see what happened to Nick as he's running side by side with that 00 machine of Charles Wolf. A little bit of contact, and whoa, what the? Well, that's iRacing for you, ladies and gentlemen. Not much more to say about that. But unfortunately, Aaron Law, he's down on pit road. Michael Tanagretta's down on pit road as well. And Nick Velasco in the number 11 has joined them down on pit road. Right now, Michael Brock starting to pull away here from Lemke and Exzulu. Oh no, hold on to it. What a save there out of Oz. And let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this track is a very hard track to race, let alone race it here in the wetness, as these drivers are making their way to complete lap number 3 on the book. We've got a good pack of cars back here behind your top 5. And it's all being led, I believe, here by Thomas Lathrop in that number 84 machine. Nope, one more back. There it is. Spencer Beaudoin. Or Beaudoin. I fail. Mac, I miss you, buddy. Mac was here with us, but unfortunately his work schedule changed on us, and now they have me here solo. So I apologize for butchering the names, but that's Beaudoin. And he's trying to hold off Joseph Meyer here in that 000 machine. So right now, these guys doing a really great job. Christopher Croto in the 305 machine, currently sitting back in that 10th position. Second place right now in your mid-pack Larry division. In that Vans Mazda. Yeah, in the Vans Mazda here. And look at these guys go in front of them. Tony Wallace coming from off a very good run at St. Pete 1 week ago. He's finds himself now back here in that 8th position, trying to make his way around a lot of this field here at IMOLA after starting far back in the field, believe it or not, for that number 78 machine. As of right now, though, he has moved up 7 positions, which is tied with 3 other drivers for having the most movement throughout the race. And the other ones would go to Charles Wolf, Roman Bykov, Rick Rashawn, and Jack Stadola. As Keaton Bandy in that number 87, he was your MPL leader, and he just got off here. Let's go back here and take a look and see what happened here as they head down into this big braking zone. Left-hander, he just lost it and looped it around as we get a good look here at his car. Tough break there for Keaton Bandy as we have more drivers going off track a little bit here, but these guys are driving hard. As you see, Gregorio Moreno having issues here in that. Oh, big contact. Wow, that was a hard hit there for Sean Kapensky. Let's go back and take a look, see what happened here. Oh, he got turned off the front bumper of... Oh, man, a tough break, and that was a massive hit for Sean Krapensky. Let's go back here, see if we can get a better look. Right there. Oh, man, tough break here for a couple of these drivers here. Just about that midway point, and Moreno, he's still just out here doing some donuts, and he finally go ahead and towed it back here to the pits. But right now, Michael Brock has pulled away in that 421 machine, but Oz Escalou, he has not left the back bumper of Lemke in that number 41 machine. He is still right there on a, looking for that second position here as the rain keeps claiming victims. Connor Menard, he went off track, and he was actually off track for quite some time here. Let's go back here and take a quick look and see what happened to Connor. Yeah, he just lost it right there. Woo! Oh, that was some good heads-up driving. Aaron Law once again going off track, and a lot of these drivers are having issues, and one driver that is having issues that should not be having issues is that 00 machine of Charles Wolf. He's having a lot of issues here 12 minutes into this 20-minute race, and he is your current points leader in the pro division. So this is not... Oh, he had to serve a drive-through possibly for incident points. So that is something that, we also have to keep our eyes on here as well. Yep, as you guys see here, Moreno, he's going to get a black flag as well. Belasco, black flag. A lot of these are going to be for incident points here, a little bit past the halfway point. And look at that 00. Charles Wolf trying to make more progress as we have more trouble with Roman Bykov, he got spun around, and he is starting to make his way back around. Let's come back here and see what happened. Just hard into that braking zone. No contact. Oh, yep, he had help. That just tells the story right there. Tough break here for Bykov, but still strong in that 10th position as we come back here to the battle for the 2nd position between Lemke and Eskulu as they dive down here into this long sweeping downhill right-hander into a heavy left-hander turn. And this is a very heavy braking zone because it is downhill. There is a lot of elevation change here at IMOLA, and those kind of corners are really tough. But so far, a lot of these drivers have been able to hold on to it the right way. Jack Stadola, he's back here battling Kempinski and Sean Cooper. Tanagretta having more issues in that 200 machine. Michael Tanagretta's season started very strong, but he has not had the best of luck as of late. As you see Michael Tanagretta spinning out there, and then Connor Menard, he's going to have a little bit of issues here himself. As you guys saw on that pop-up screen, Menard, he did get a meatball flag, so he's going to have too much damage. Oh, hard into the tires, and yeah, right there, that will do it. But Michael Tanagretta, as I was saying, he's been having a rough few races here. Not finishing very well there for the mid-pack Larrys. So he's definitely going to have to try to figure something out here in race number 2 to try to gain some more points back. Alrighty, we do have just about 4 minutes, 45 seconds left in this first run. And right now, it's all in the hands of Michael Brock in that 421 machine. As you guys can see here, actually that spray coming from the back of the cars are actually getting a lot lighter. That means this track is starting to dry up a little bit. Now it is still wet, so they can't really change over to dry tires yet. But as of right now, they're doing the best they can here on a drying track. So they got to try to keep those tires cool, because if they run it too hot, it's going to burn up those tires, and it's not going to end so well for them. Christopher Croto having issues in his 301. He was your race leader for the MPLs. As you see, he's going to loop it right there. Hold on to it. Good save there for Croto. However, he will still hold on to that race lead for the mid-pack Larrys. As Keaton Bandy, he has made his way back up into the 11th spot, and followed by John Cooper in the 7 machine. As now, John Cooper has got around Kapensky, and now he's got his eyes set on Keaton Bandy there directly in front of him. That's going to be the race for second here in the mid-pack Larrys. As Christopher, oh my gosh, what was that? Nick Belasco and Christopher Croto. No, this was a separate incident here. So you see Nick Belasco getting sideways. Oh, so this was a total separate incident here. Roman Bykov getting sideways here and losing it hard. Oh, hard into that wall. Oh man, that was a really nasty hit there. And you see that 305 machine sneaking his way through. That was Christopher Croto, but Croto seems like he's still having a little bit of issues with that number 305. However, he is still out front and leading your mid-pack Larrys. And there is just about a 6-second gap back to Bandy. Right now, this is your closest battle on track. This is between Lemke and Esquilu. This is the battle for a second as we have the white flag in the air. This is the final lap for these drivers. It is now or nothing for these drivers as they make their way through this quick right left-hander back into another left-hander as they will make their way down this very long straight. Now they could use this draft to their advantage, and Ryan Ryder having a tough run here as well, back in that 19th position. He has issues. Christopher Croto, he had to come do a drive-through, so that's going to put Bandy back in your race lead for the LM or for the mid-pack Larrys. And as I was getting ready to say something about Cooper, I think it was, or with Sean has issues, and Michael Tanagretta as well. Let's take a look here, see what happened. Oh, just too much speed here. Loses it. And then once again, Michael Tanagretta having issues in that 200 machine as we're going to get ready to jump back live. Now he just got on those curbs that are absolutely wet and he went for a spin. But right now, getting ready to come into the final corners of this speedway and to the checkered flag. Michael Brock taking no prisoners here in the first race of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, now coming across the line, your first race winner of the day will go to Michael Brock. Brian Lemke, he will come home second after holding off a hard-charging Oz Esquilu. What a really great run for them as we jump back here to Keaton Bandy. He's trying to hold strong here in that number 87 machine coming into the final corner. And ladies and gentlemen, your mid-pack Larry race winner will be Keaton Bandy in that number 87. He will win here for the mid-pack Larrys. Second will go to Jack Stodola in the number 406 machine, and then John Cooper in the 777 or in the 777 machine. He will come home third in the mid-pack Larrys. So what a great race all around here for these drivers, as we have some final drivers coming across the start-finish line. As we catch up here with Roman Bykov in the 013 machine. He's going to come down pit road. Ryan Ryder in that 181 machine. He's going to loop it. And he's going to hold on to it here. And here comes Michael Tanagretta. He's going to move up into that 20th position, coming to the checkered flag. So Tanagretta rider coming 20th and 21st. Aaron Law and Nick Belasco here. But that's going to do it here for race number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead here and take a look here at your race results. For your mid-pack Larrys, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be Keaton Bandy is your race winner, followed by Jack Stadola, and John Cooper will come home third. Fourth will go to Rick Wishon. Keegan Geirig, he'll come home fifth. Sixth will go to Matt Bond. Seventh, Christopher Croto. Michael Tannegretta, Aaron Law, and Connor Menard will round out your top 10. Brad Parker, Craig Thompson, and Corey Mitchell will round out your field of 13 for the mid-pack Larrys. Let's go ahead and take a look here at your pro division. Michael Brock out front, Brian Lemke and Oz Escalou. They will round out your top 3. Thomas Lathrop, Tony Wallace will round out your top 5 here in the pro division. And that does mean Oz Escalou, or I'm sorry, scratch that, Thomas Lathrop, he will start on the pole, and Thomas Lathrop, Escalou, and Lemke, or Lathrop, Escalou, Lemke, and then Brock will be your top 4 there. Tony Wallace round out your top 5. Joseph Meyer, Cameron Fredericks, Spencer Beaudoin, Charles Wolf, and Mark Miller will round out your top 10, rounding out your pro division. Sean Kapinski, Ryan Ryder, Roman Bykov, Nick Belasco, and Gregorio Martirano will round out your top 5th, or your pro division here, as these drivers are getting ready to figure out this next section of the speedway. And let's take a look here and see how we're looking right now for our rain percentage. Right now we're showing 0%, and there's a nice little dry groove starting to form here at Imola. So it's going to actually be very interesting to see here if these drivers are going to elect to go on dry tires or not. And I can confirm we do have a few drivers here that are trying dry tires. And one of those has just looped up here, and that's going to be the 00 of Meyer. Yeah, so as of right now, here comes another driver who's on dries. Well, some of these drivers, they seem that they can handle it. That's going to be Michael Brock in that 421 machine. He's testing here, see what he can do on dry tires. I would imagine getting up on the curbing, it's not going to work out very well for a lot of these drivers. Oh! Jack Sestola, he went off. Charles Wolf. But that's all the time they're going to get. They're going to decide right now if they're going to do dry tires or wet tires. That's going to be the ultimate question, ladies and gentlemen. And let's go ahead and take a look here once again at your starting lineup for race number 2 of the day. Thomas Lathrop in that number 84. He'll be joined by the 911 of Oz Escalou on the front row. Starting third, it's going to be Brian Lemke. Fourth will go to Michael Brock. Tony Wallace up here in that 5th position after having a strong run in the first race. He's going to be joining Joseph Meyer in that 000 machine. Starting 7th, it's going to be Cameron Frederick in that 302 machine. He'll be joined by Spencer Beaudoin in that 010 machine. Charles Wolf in the 00. He'll be on the inside of row number 5, and he'll be joined by Mark Miller to round out your top 10. Sean Gapensky in the 823. He's looking for redemption along with Ryan Ryder, who's starting 12th. 13th is going to be Roman Bykov in the 013, and Nick Belasco in the number 11 machine. 15th, it's going, wait a second. I think that was just all of your pro drivers here. I knew something sounded Funny about that. Lathrop, Escalou, Lemke, Brock, Wallace, Meyer, Frederick, Baudoin. Yeah, see, that's still not giving me the whole lineup here. What in the world is happening? I don't know what it's doing, ladies and gentlemen, but we're going to get ready to go back green for the second time here today. Tony Wallace, Baudoin, Frederick, Bandy, Wolf, Kapensky, Cooper, Wishon, Geirig, Bond, Croto, Tanagretta, Ryder, Belasco, Bykov, and Aaron Law, the 21 cars currently out on the track. Miller, Stadola, Moreno, Menard, Parker, Thompson. Those guys are all down on pit road. But we're going to get ready to go back green flag as they come out of turn 17. And Lathrop, Escalou will bring the field to the green flag. Pace car is off as they will creep slowly to the start zone here at IMOLA for race number 2. 20 minutes on the clock. Wait for it, wait for it. And we are now green flag racing here at IMOLA as these drivers will quickly head down into turn number 1 and 2. Lathrop has the advantage at the moment, but here comes Escalou to the outside in that number 911 machine. He's going to hold strong on the right side as their drivers are looking to possibly go 3 wide. Some of these, oh, there is 3 wide action, and we do have one around. Who is that back there? Is that Rick Wishon is the one that got spun around there, but he finally got back going. As I was getting ready to say, some of these drivers are still on the wet portion of this track, and that's not what they want. As you see Escalou get into the wetness and go off track there, and that's going to allow Michael Brock to make his way around him for that second position. Further on back here through the field, Tony Wallace is starting to come up through the field in that Dr. Pepper machine. I am looking here. We do have a handful of drivers. No, we actually have a pretty good mix here of drivers who stayed on wets and some who went on dries. Thomas Lathrop in that number 84 machine, he stayed on wets, where Michael Brock, Lemke, and Tony Wallace all went on to dry tires, and that may benefit these guys a little bit more as this race goes on. Because as this race goes on, it's going to start to dry up more, and those dry tires are going to come alive. Roman Bykov having a lot of issues here as the rest of the field is coming. He's going to start rolling. Everybody gets around him safely. No harm, no foul done there, as you see Charles Wolf making a move on Tony Wallace in that 00 machine. He's put himself into the top 5. Charles Wolf, he is on wet tires. So we're going to see how well he's going to fare as this race moves on. Like I said, this track is going to start to get dried out as this 20-minute race goes on. As of right now, Lathrop, he has the fastest lap of the race on those wet tires. But right here comes Tony Wallace. He's looking to get back into the top 5 as he makes a run here on Charles Wolf. And he's going to take the position before getting into the corner. Nice, good, strong run there out of the corner. Michael Brock, he will take over that top spot. And here comes Lathrop. He's trying to do the same thing here on Escalou. Escalou doing it to Lathrop. Lathrop starting to fall back on those wet tires. And now, oh no, I lied. Lemke is now up in that 3rd spot. He was able to get around Lathrop. But Oz Escalou, he's on those wet tires as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all this is going to battle itself out here, as Tony Wallace has now caught the back bumper of Lathrop. He's looking to be knocking on the top four here. Oh, big wide movement out of Charles Wolf in that 00 machine as they come over this hill down into this long sweeping right-hander. Oh, wrong part of the track. It's that quick right left-hand corner. This is that long sweeping left-hander that I thought that I was talking about. Stadola, ladies and gentlemen, has taken over the race lead as... No, he's down in the pit. What? Oh, that's not how that works, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back here. See what happened to Jack Stadola in that 406 machine. Just overshot the corner. Oh, and then he got turned by the 119 of Moreno. And John Cooper, it looked like he was having a little bit of issues. A lot of drivers... All right, guys, give me just a moment here. Okay, it seems like my timing tower has settled here for the moment. Michael Brock out front, Lipinski second. Tony Wallace has snuck his way up here into third, pushing Oz back to that fourth position, and Thomas Lathrop back to fifth. So as of right now, your dry tires are showing to be the faster of the drivers at the moment, as Nick Velasco in the number 11 machine, he sets the fastest lap of this race so far with a 2:11.33. Let's fall back here through the field, see what other action we can get up here with. Everybody right now is pretty much have single filed themselves out. No one's really trying to make much moves on anybody. But we're going to catch up here with Ryan Ryder in that 181 machine. He's not having the greatest runs here today in Imola. So this is definitely going to hurt his point situation here today. As we jump up 2 spots to Michael Tannegretta. He is your... Mid-Pack Larry race leader at the moment. So Tannegretta, one driver gets crossed up. That's going to be Christopher Croto hard into the tire wall there. Let's take a look here, see what happened. He got up. Let's see, did he? Nah, he just lost it right there behind Nick Velasco and hard into the tire barrier, and that destroyed his front end of his race car. Tony Wallace in that number 78. Now he has caught the back bumper of Michael Brock. And now Michael Brock, he's going to have a lot of company out of Muscle Man Tony Wallace in that 78 machine. As you see, this track is still spitting up a little bit of water as these guys circle around this speedway. And right now, Tony Wallace is trying to do everything he can to catch the back bumper of Michael Brock. But Michael Brock, he's just pulling away here as Wallace got sideways out of that last corner as these drivers come into, I believe, turn 6 or 15. And now they're going to break down here into turn 16. Oh, this is actually still more in the middle part of the track here, actually. But Michael Brock currently pulling away here from Tony Wallace in the 78 machine. But Tony Wallace, he's got company out of Brian Lemke currently in that number 41 machine as they make their way. Oh, you see all that gravel here in turn 17. Yeah, see, now I know where I'm at. As we've got a fun four-car battle back here with Cameron Frederick, Michael Tanagretta, Joseph Meyer, Thomas Lathrop, he's leading the pack. And Michael Brock, he just set the fast lap with the 208. And they're going to go too wide heading down here into turn number 1. Spencer Bedoin, he's going to get in front of Lathrop as they brake heavy down here into turn number 1. Here they come, all single file at the moment. Right now they're chasing Spencer Bedoin in that 010 machine for the 6th position overall. But right now that number 200 machine of Michael Tanagretta, he is your leader in the mid-pack Larrys. So this is something that these guys want to keep their eyes on. It looks like something happened a little bit in front of them as Iskalu and Charles Wolf just had some possible issues here as they were really slow coming out of that corner down here into I believe that's turns 12 and 13 right back there. Oh no, Charles Wolf in that 00, he's gonna loop it. He's going to pretty much save it, but that's going to drop him all the way back to that 12th position in class. And that's definitely not what he needed. Okay, so that's actually going to drop him to 12th overall. As we watch this 6 or 7 car fight here for that 6th position as they are all following, I'm sorry, that's 5th now with Spencer Bedoin, yeah. And here comes Tanagretta, he's making a run on Thomas Lathrop. He's looking to take over the 6th position overall. This is a really great turnaround here for Tanagretta after struggling there in the first race of the day in the wet. But he's slowly starting to come alive here in that this second race as he's already moved up 13 spots since we've gone green flag racing for the second race. And now he's actually holding strong here in that 6th position as they will go ahead and make their way down here in the turn. I believe this is 13. Great racing here, but we're going to jump back up here to your race leaders as we are approaching 7 minutes left in this race. So just about 3 more laps as they continue around this track. And let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Wallace in that 78, he is on the gas hard trying to catch up to Michael Brock. He was 1.5 seconds behind, but just in 1 lap, he was able to bring it down to half a second. Lost a little bit here in the first section of this track, but he's slowly starting to reel in Michael Brock once again as they make their way back here to the front straightaway. Wallace in the draft of Brock. Let's see if he's going to have enough to actually get to his back bumper as Brock is trying to cut off the draft, which he was not able to, and now just 0.2 seconds back away from Michael Brock, it's going to be Tony Wallace in that Dr. Pepper machine as they fly down here into turns 1 and 2. Brock, he's going to get sideways, jump on the curb, and that's going to lose up a lot of momentum. And now Tony Wallace was not able to capitalize on that mistake as they come out of turns numbers 1 and 2, and they will head down here into turn number 3 and 4. And still, that Dr. Pepper machine having issues getting around Michael Brock for that race lead. But Michael Brock is doing everything he can to keep him behind as they come out of turn number 8. Santa Greta, he's going to move up into that 4th position overall. What a great day for Santa Greta in that 200 machine, up 15 spots. Your absolute biggest mover in the race. Now just about a half-second separation here between Wallace and Brock. I've been noticing that this part of the track, Michael Brock is absolutely fast because he starts to pull away from Wallace as they approach turn 17. Oh, what a corner there for Tony Wallace, as he's literally on the back bumper of Michael Brock as they're going to come down towards the front straightaway. Right now, Tony Wallace all over the back bumper of Michael Brock. And I believe this is going to... No, I lied. We still got at least 2 more laps here as... Oh, Tony Wallace puts down a whopping time of a 2:07.3. He's looking on the inside for the race lead, but he's going to back it out. He's hoping that Michael Brock has issues. Brock up onto the curbs and not able to capitalize once again from those mistakes. But Tony Wallace, he's still right there on the back bumper. Now he's going to look to the left side. Not able to get his nose down there into turns 3 and 4. So once again, he's going to have to reset up and try again here momentarily as these drivers make their way here through this quarter. Jumping back here to Spencer Beaudoin, who is all over the back bumper of Michael's Santa Greta for that 4th position. A couple of really great races going on right now throughout the entire field. But right now, Michael Brock, he is all under fire from Tony Wallace. Is there anything that Tony Wallace can do to take over this race lead? As these drivers, I believe, are going to circle back around. And they should get the 1 to go signal this time by. Michael Brock getting a better exit that time out of those corners. Heading down here into turn number 16. This is where Tony Wallace really gained here on Michael Brock. Had a great exit, and once again, look at that exit he gets here. Back to the back bumper of Michael Brock. Heading down the front straightaway. Is he going to look to take over the points? But right now, he is still all over the back bumper, drafting down this front straightaway as we are looking still no white flag. So now still 2 laps to go, at least, with only 3.5 minutes remaining in this race. So yeah, so I think they will see the white flag this next time by. Heavy down into this braking zone. Michael Brock making a big mistake, and Wallace still not able to capitalize. No, I take that back. He's now drag racing down into turn number 3. But Michael Brock, he has where the point, and now... Let's see if Wallace can hold it. He's going to hold it. Your new race leader right now is going to be Tony Wallace for the moment. Now it's going to be all about Michael Brock. See what Michael Brock can do in that number 421 machine. As Thomas Lathrop, he has issues, and he's going to retire early from this race. Here comes Michael Brock fighting on the left side into this left-hander, but he gave it up to Michael or to Tony Wallace as they will shoot their way down here into this heavy braking zone. Tony Wallace still leading this race. Michael Brock hoping Tony Wallace will make a mistake here, but so far no mistakes out of Tony Wallace in that number 78 machine as they jump up these curbings of, I believe that was 15, 16, as they're going to fly down here to turn number 17 to head back to the start finish line. This is where Tony Wallace has been so great on exit the past 2 laps, and once again he will absolutely fly out of turn number 17, and this is going to be the white flag this time by with just under 40 seconds remaining here at Imola. Coming across the start finish line, white flag is in the air. Tony Wallace, Michael Brock is going to duke it out here for the race lead, or for the race win here at Imola into turn number 1. Tony Wallace has not made a mistake just yet. Michael Brock, he's made a couple mistakes here. Great run out of Michael Brock, but not able to make it work for him. He's going to go ahead and fall back in line as these 2 drivers will head down here into turns 3 and 4. Still, Michael Brock not able to do anything on the back bumper of Tony Wallace as they make their way out of turn number 4, heading down here to turn 5. Michael Brock all over the back bumper of Tony Wallace, waiting for Wallace to make a mistake so he can pounce. Brian Lemke, 3 seconds back from these 2. He's hoping that these 2 take themselves out so he can take home the race win. Into turn 7. Still no movement as of yet here out of Michael Brock as Tony Wallace is driving hard into turn 8 as he will make some progress up here into turns 9 and 10. Oh, that time Tony Wallace slipped just a little bit. He's going to lose a lot of momentum as they head down into turns 9 and 10. Michael Brock not getting the exit that he was hoping for as they will make their way down here. And just like that, guys, we're actually at turn 17. I must have been sleeping on a couple of these corners. But right now, here it is. A big braking zone. Contact. Oh, no. Tony Wallace, he's around. Whoa. And that's going to open up the door for Brian Lemke to come home second. Michael Brock, not the way he wanted to win this race here, ladies and gentlemen, but your race 2 winner as well. It's going to be Michael Brock in that 421. Brian Lemke coming home second, but still holding on to third. It's going to be Tony Wallace, with Lemke actually taking the fastest lap of a 206.5 for his final lap. Michael Tannegretta in the 200 machine. He will be your Mid-Pack Larry race winner this time by. And Rick Wishon in that number 074. He'll come home second. And Aaron Law, after having a bad... Oh, wait. Bonds! He will take the race third place away from Aaron Law at the line. So Matt Bond in the number 20 took home the third position in the Mid-Pack Larrys, pushing Aaron Law to 4th. What a wonderful race out of Michael Brock and Brian Lemke. Tony Wallace having that spin, almost collecting Brian Lemke in it, but Michael Wallace was able to hold on for that second position, as I believe all the drivers have crossed the line. So let's go ahead and come back here and take a look here at your race results. Oh no, we're actually still waiting for one driver to cross. It's Christopher Croto, whom we are waiting on to cross the line so we can get access to our final results for this race, and we finally got that. So let's go ahead and bring it up here, ladies and gentlemen. For your mid-pack Larrys, it's going to be Michael Tanagretta, Rick Washanen, that 074 with a awesome run from the back of the field up to that second spot, and Matt Bond taking home that third spot at the line away from Aaron Law, who will come home fourth. Keaton Bandy will come home fifth. Rounding out your top 10, it's going to be Keegan Geirig, Christopher Croto, John Cooper, Jack Stadola, Connor Menard will round out your top 10. Rounding out your field for the mid-pack Larrys, it's going to be Brad Parker, Craig Thompson, and Corey Mitchell. For your Pro Division, Michael Brock will go back-to-back here at IMOLA and take home the race win. And Brian Lepke, he will come home second. Tony Wallace will come home third. Fourth will go to Spencer Beaudoin. Oz Escalou, he will fall back to that fifth position, followed by Nick Velasco, Ryan Ryder, after a strong return here in that up to that seventh position. Mark Miller, Charles Wolf, and Cameron Frederick will round out your top 10. To round out your field of 15 for the Pro Division, it's going to be Joseph Meyer, Sean Kapensky, Thomas Lathrop, Gregorio Moreno, and Roman Bykov will round out your top 15 drivers here for your Pro Division. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get ready to talk with some of these drivers. Let me... Alrighty, so we'll just go ahead and keep this up then. I'm not... Yeah, I'm actually not seeing what I was hoping to find. But that's all right. No worries on that part. So let's go ahead and come back here, take a look, and see who we can talk with. And I just realized I was not in their Discord. Hang on, guys. If you guys are watching, I'm coming. Here we are. Alrighty, here we go. Let's go ahead and bring up Michael Tanagretta, finishing 4th overall today, and your race winner for the mid-pack Larrys. Michael, this is Mike up in the booth. Do you got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Michael, the last couple of weeks have been very tough for you. But today you had one mission, and that was come out here and be strong. So you struggled just a little bit in the wet conditions, and then come back strong in the second race. Walk me through your process, trying to transition into the wet and then back to the dry.
To start, the wet honestly felt pretty good. I think it was just the hobble through the group. So the biggest thing was trying to get safely through and minimize the incidents to make sure we don't get a drive-through. Kind of trying to zig when I should have zagged in the first race, and that resulted going in the wall. So, and then the second race was kind of a gamble because we weren't sure if we wanted to do dry or wets, but dry was definitely a gamble and paid off in the end.
Yeah, absolutely, and it definitely paid off for you. And looking forward, we got just 3 more races remaining here in the season. Which race are you looking forward to the most, and why?
Sorry, give me a second. I don't really have one in particular, to be honest. To be honest, I'm just trying to come out each time and do the best that I can with what I
I'm sorry,
can.
we have 2 weeks left. I'm sorry.
Could you
Monza
remind
and
me of
Spa.
them? I would say more Spa. Spa I like. Monza has that treacherous turn 1. But I would say more Spa than anything, and for Monza it would definitely be a survival kind of like today as well. But Spa I kind of like. It's very good, very flowy. I don't know if that one's in the rain or not. I'm hoping it is as well. That one's really good in the rain, but I'm really looking forward to Spa for sure.
Alrighty, and before we let you go here today, Michael, is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Just you guys and Apex this for being able to put this league on, and you guys for the broadcasts. Always be able to watch your back every week and see the amazing job you guys do and how good you make us all look.
Well, I mean, I try my best, you know. But you guys are the ones that put on the show for us. And at the end of the day, I believe you guys are the ones that actually make me look good, because without good racing, it's just going to be a dead broadcast. Just saying.
Oh,
But
true,
man-
true. I mean, you stretch our back, we stretch your back. It works in the end.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, Mike. But man, again, what a good run for you here at Imola. We will see you next week at Monza. And once again, buddy, congratulations on your race win.
Absolutely will do. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, your mid-pack Larry's race number 2 winner, it was going to be Michael Greta. Let's go ahead and bring up your mid-pack Larry race 1 winner, Keaton Bandy. Keaton, it's Mike up in the booth, got a copy.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Keaton, my man, what a day for you in the first race. What was it like out there for you to try to make something happen for you to get that race win? And then, man, just what happened here in the second race?
Yes, good questions. As much as I would love to just take the credit for having a great heat race, I did have a spin out, but it was just a war of attrition. I just got back in there, and some mid-pack Larrys ahead of me kind of spun out, so I was able to just kind of take advantage of that and sneak out the win there. In the second race, in the feature, I don't know what happened in lap 1. Like, I was fine, but I think I was out of like the slipstream conga line there. I was kind of off to the side because they just kept swooping by me for like the whole lap, and then from there I was doing okay. I had a little bit of a slip up later on and got passed by a couple more and was able to keep up, and I feel like I even had a little pace on them, but wasn't able to get past the couple mid-pack Larrys I was behind there. But all in all, I'm happy with my results. Super happy with my win. I think that was my first mid-pack Larry win. I have had one other. Yeah, thrilled to be in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, absolutely. And give me just a second here. My computer or iRacing decided to do something a little funky to me here, and then I'm just gonna fix that real quick here. And but yeah, man, that was a good day, and we got 2 more races left here in the season. We're going to Monza next week, and then in 2 weeks we're heading out to Spa. Which track are you looking forward to the most?
Oh man, 2 great tracks. I think I'm really looking forward to Spa because when I first started racing with Apex, that was one of the first races we did in the MX5s, and it kind of just opened this whole world to me. So looking forward to going back now that I have a little bit more practice in.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we let you go, Keaton, is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to y'all doing these podcasts. It's really fun to watch either after the race or the next day. I usually tune in. And oh gosh, shout out to my wife for putting up with this hobby, and my 2 dogs, Chester and Hattie, and everyone at Apex. This really top-notch people there. You know, it's even when you wreck someone on the track, usually there's no hard feelings afterwards. So it's a really great place to be, and I'm happy to be here. Going to continue racing.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on your race win in the first race of the day. and we look forward to seeing you next week in Monza.
Thanks, Mike. See you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, your race 1 winner, Keaton Bandy. Let's go ahead and bring up your third place driver of that number 78 Dr. Pepper machine of Tony Wallace. Tony, it's Mike up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, Mike, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty fabulous, my man. What a run for you overall. You know, you started a little bit deep in race 1, fought your way all the way up to 5th, I believe, or 6th. Something like that. And man, you just had a great second race. What was it like coming through the field? You know, after starting way back in that first race.
Yeah, and qualifying just didn't go well. There was a couple puddles where I just kept hitting, and then I had to off track, so I didn't get the qualifying time where I needed to be. I should have been up there with the front people and kind of running for the first race, but I knew I had pace. I knew the track was going to start to dry off a little bit, and I would catch up, and that's exactly what happened. I was able to make my way through the field, make some really good moves, and stick some good moves around the outside of people, which was crazy. And, you know, got up to 5th, and then was set up for the feature race.
Now, fast forward to that feature race. A little bit of a heartbreak there at the end for you, but overall, a really great dominant run out of you, you know, in the final couple of laps. So walk us through the last 3 laps, you know, as you did get around Michael for a brief moment, and then we'll just talk about the rest.
Yeah, I saw the spots Michael was slow at, and I knew all I had to do was kind of dial in and attack those sectors, and then once I got there, I was able to push him and make the move and get past him. And sadly, on the last lap, I'm going to leave it up to the stewards, but I personally think that that's due to be looked at. Though he was on the inside, he would have never made that turn. So kind of sucky that we got in a little bit of a collision. I'm still happy I got on the podium, but first place should have definitely been mine with the pace I was running, and just a little heartbroken right now about finishing 3rd after all that work I did.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, overall, man, either way, I mean, it was a really, really great run for you. I mean, still podium. But we do have 2 more races left, Tony. Monza and Spa. Which one are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to Monza. Spa could be hit or miss. It's a big draft track, so everybody's going to be running together, and it makes for interesting race. Monza could be quite drafty as well, but there are some sectors where you can kind of pull away from people if you're strong enough there.
All right. First Monza vote for the day. Not bad. Well, Tony, man, congratulations on one heck of a day all around. Congratulations on your 3rd place, and we'll see you next week at Monza.
All right, thanks, Mike. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be Tony Wallace, driver of that number 78 Mazda. Let's go ahead and bring up your 2nd place driver of that number 41 machine, Brian Lemke with Sky Lounge. Brian, it's Mike up at the booth. You got a copy, man?
I sure do.
Brian, my man, what a great day all around for you. Walk us through your 2 races, and what was it like out there in, between the first and second race?
Yeah, that was just a wild night. Practice was pouring rain, which was really fun. I mean, there was puddles everywhere. Qualifying was heavy rain, which was really cool. Race 1 kind of like wet, but kind of not too bad. And man, I got out front. I was really happy with my quality lap, and one little bobble Michael was able to get around, and that's it. You just can't catch him when he's out front. So that was P2. Next race, I was going back and forth on tires right up to the last possible second to grid, and I thought I actually missed the grid. That's how close it was. Luckily, I made it, and I was waiting to see what Michael was going to do. If he went on dries, I was going to go on dries, and he did go on dries. So then the race was just kind of crazy the first couple laps. Some people were on wet, some people were on dries. Like, I'm just trying to avoid the puddles. Once again, I made a little mistake, and those guys were able to drive away, and I just got a gift at the end with Tony and Michael coming together. But yeah, P2. That seems to be where I always finish this season. So it is what it is.
Well, I mean, talking about coming up to the end of the season, what race are you looking forward to the most? We've got Mazda and then heading to Spa.
I don't really care for either of those tracks, but they should be fun. Monza and the Miata is usually pretty good because of all the draft, and Spa too. So I think they'll both race really well. Not my favorite tracks, but they'll definitely be fun. So we'll see. We'll see if weather plays a part, or if it's dry or sunny, or who knows. But yeah, looking forward to just seeing what we can do, and hopefully the racing continues to be this good.
Yeah, absolutely. And just what a great day overall for you, Brian. And before we let you go, buddy, is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, all the guys that came out tonight and made the racing fun, and the guys that are not scared of a little rain. It's always fun to mix it up, and weather isn't always perfectly sunny and 90 degrees. So sometimes Mother Nature has different plans. Tonight was one of them, so I'm super happy everybody came out and had a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know it put on one heck of a show for us up here in the booth. But Brian, man, congratulations on a great day overall, and we'll see you next week over at Monza.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, your second place driver of that number 41 machine, Brian Lemke. Let's go ahead and bring up your back-to-back race winner here at Imola. It's going to be driver of that 421 machine of Michael Brock. Hey, Mike, it's Mike up at the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, my man. What a day for you overall. Coming home back-to-back wins, and you know when to strike with people making mistakes. And that's something I've caught on, real quick. And once again, today was no difference in that first heat race.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely goes both ways. I make plenty of mistakes as well, but I try to capitalize on the ones that I see other people make. So yeah, if I could think, yeah, first, well, Brian had a killer qual lap, so hats off to him, man. That was really good. And then I just he had one little bobble in race one on that chicane, and I was able to pull away, and he had the sweat of Oz, right? Because Oz was pretty killer in the wet, so I'm sure Brian was sweating that whole race, and I kind of had a little bit of lead, so I could kind of relax. So yeah, I don't envy Brian being in that spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And this last race here for the final, I mean, honestly, it would seem like the whole race, but maybe like the final 4 laps between you and Tony. Man, what was that race like, and you trying to hold off Tony there for the race win?
Yeah, honestly, dude, that was such an awesome race. I don't think we've had I've never been in a race like that where I don't know how many people were, but it seemed like the top, 8 or something. That's what I can see in my little relative thing anyways. But half were on dry and half were on wet. So it was just I had no idea what to expect. Yeah, I went into the practice and I just took dries, and it was doable. And I just figured the race would be, obviously drying out. So I think the dries ended up being the right choice. Bit of a risky move, but the first couple laps was kind of sketch, but then it started drying out, and definitely we were able to kind of put more pace on the guys that took the wets. And then I'm trying to think what happened. Yeah, and then Tony was just on pace tonight in that dry as it started drying out. I don't know what so I just threw I had my wet setup, but I put my dry tires on, so my car was a real big sloppy mess. Didn't really rotate really well, but he's probably in the same boat. I'm not sure what he did, but it didn't feel great at the end. But yeah, it's too bad right at the end. He kind of we got into each other. He spun. I think I had that corner. He just didn't seem to give me a car width, but like you said, we'll see. It seems like I was fine there, but who knows? Maybe I did something wrong. And yeah, that's unfortunate, but hey, the rest of the race though was awesome with him. So, no hard feelings, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got 2 more races left here, Mike. Monza and Spa. Which one are you looking forward to the most as we get ready to close out the season?
In the MX5, I would say, they're pretty similar. I mean, there's super draft tracks. So honestly, I don't love these two tracks at the end for a Mazda. Porsche Cup, I like these tracks a lot more, but I would say Spa is probably more entertaining a little bit. So I'll look a little bit more forward to that one.
Alrighty, and before we let you go today, is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, my whole fam, wife Jen, everyone in the booth, and Apex this for putting on these awesome races. So yeah, look forward to doing it again next week. Have a night, man.
Absolutely, brother. Congratulations on your race wins, and we'll see you next week.
Sorry.
Oh,
Special shout out to my daughter. My daughter's she's having a birthday in a couple days, so special shout out to her too. Sorry, thanks. Bye.
happy birthday! Alrighty, Mike. Congratulations on your race win, and we'll see you next week over in Monza.
All right, see you. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 421 machine is going to be Michael Brock, your back-to-back race winner here at IMOLA. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head over to Monza for an awesome race there. As all of our drivers that we talked to here today, they said both of these tracks upcoming are going to be drafty tracks. So with those long straights that you see there on the schedule for Monza, that's going to be what we're looking for. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to lay our heads down 7 times before we can get there. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, no matter what you do in life, you have fun doing it. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mike Taylor up here in the booth. Thank you guys so much for spending the last couple of hours with me. We will see you next week live from Monza. Thank you guys so much, and have yourself an awesome, beautiful, amazing time zones. Good night.